Okay. Are you gonna put it up there?
I could do that. I have it ready. It would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so this is reflecting basically the month of July. Of course, it was very wet in June, so it's gonna be very different in July. 13,870,000 gallons produced by the wells during July, of which 7,576,000 gallons of consumption registered through customer meters. This works out to be 462,000 gallons per day produced by the wells, of which 253,000 gallons per day registered through customer meters. It's the equivalent customer consumption of 498 gallons per day per connection. And unaccounted for water loss is 6,294,000 gallons, or 45% of total production by the wells. And you can see how this compares with last year. It was hotter last summer too. 17,524,000 gallons produced by the wells during July of last year, was 12,618,000 gallons of consumption registered through customer meters, and that works out to be 565,000 gallons per day produced by the wells, so it's about 100,000 more than it was this year, of which 407,000 gallons per day registered through customer meters. That is significantly different by 150,000 gallons a day over the last quarter this year. Equivalent customer consumption of 816 gallons per day per connection. Unaccounted for water loss is 4,906,000 gallons, or 38% of total production by the wells. So there is an increase there. Obviously the system is getting older. Meters are getting older. The meters always read in the customer's favor. They read lower as they get older. And you can see 2 years ago it was less at 10,250,000 gallons produced by the wells, of which 5,802,000 gallons of consumption registered through customer meters. 342,000 gallons per day produced by the wells, of which 193,000 gallons per day registered through customer meters. Total customer consumption of 411 gallons per day per connection. Unaccounted for water loss is 4,448,000 gallons, or 43% of production by the wells. So you can see 2 years ago our unaccounted for water loss is 4,448,000 gallons. Last year was 4,906,000 gallons. This year, 6,294,000 gallons. So, yeah, so it's going. You want to scroll down, Jesse?
Yes.
And the last one, then 3 years ago, we were at just over 11 million gallons, of which 7 million went through customer meters. Works out to be 359,000 gallons per day produced by the wells, or 221,000 gallons per day registered through customer meters. Equivalent customer consumption of 472 gallons per day per connection. Unaccounted for water loss is 4,402,000 gallons, or 38%. So basically 3 years ago and 2 years ago are similar, but we're seeing a pattern as things get older, it's increasing. Okay, underwater system issues. This is kind of, I guess I could have had Ben on here with this as a question for him. We are looking to upgrade our radio system as it's getting older, but we need DEQ approval on that. I don't think we've heard anything back. You haven't heard anything yet.
I have not.
Yeah. So we're still waiting on that one. We have been busy replacing bad meters with new meters. That's item number 2. And we did get 2 of the meters moved from the basements to the street. And I think, yes, so far. And I think, Jesse, we found some agreements somehow.
Yep, it's on the agenda.
So, okay, we'll get that to later in the agenda. And actually, of course, it was a busy month. We had 5 water line breaks in 3 weeks. Mostly due to, we believe, hydrant testing.
Really?
So I've told them, listen, next time you do it, I want to go with you. None of this is going to happen on the weekends. I wouldn't even want to do it on Fridays anymore, because we keep spare parts on hand, but it'd be a disaster if we didn't have the right spare part for some of these old lines. In fact, I'm going to walk back to my office and bring a part in. This last one, I can't say is necessarily the fire department's fault, but I'm going to grab this part out of my office here, which is kind of a little show and tell.
He was gonna talk to them
Okay, the
about,
last one was on Corbin Street.
gonna bring that big rock in.
The last one was on Corbin Street. What happened was they tested a fire hydrant and a service line had been put in and it connected with this. Now, Bob, you may see this in household plumbing. You don't find this in public water systems. So generally
Do now.
you'll have compression fittings in there that are brass and whatnot. And this one, they tested the fire hydrant, just blew it right out. Water's running down Corbin Street. So, and essentially, yes, we don't like them testing on the weekends, but in reality, who installed this on a service line in a public water system? I'll just let it go at that, okay? That was the critter.
When they're testing those hydrants, are they using the valve on the top of the hydrant, or are they using a ball valve attachment to the?
Well, that's what I need to verify with them, because I had somebody say they noted them, yes, they're doing it at the top, but they also have a ball valve for their quick test, and I think that's what's causing the problem,
Yeah,
especially,
they slammed that in.
especially at Cape Horn Estates, where we got these old 5-inch lines that are steel, coal tar enameled, and
Yep.
they're starting to wear through, so when they get a shock, all of a sudden, there goes that rock through the hole in there, so. Anyway, it's settled down now after that, and again, this report was written last week, I believe, so.
Oh, the radiators.
Anyway, yeah, and then number 5, the well 7 generator has been rebuilt and reinstalled. We put that off for almost a year because I wanted to wait to get past the bad weather, and we did. We waited till July. They actually had to send it to Tri-Cities. Remember, this is a very old generator. You just go out and buy a new radiator. So they rebuilt it. It's working just fine. And our land application treatment site is up and running. I'm just giving you the averages there, and this is still true this year. About 50,000 gallons per day during the summer months. It'll be probably more in the 40s in the weekdays and closer to the 60s in the summertime. I'm keeping track of that. Everything's being monitored right now this month. And you can see the 2021 figures. And then down to the sewer maintenance site, the sewer treatment site up there. Land application site is back online. 2 of the 5 spray zone valves have failed. 1 valve is being replaced. It was supposed to be this week, but they pushed it off a week. RC worst test. We ordered a spare one to have on hand. And so we do, but there's a second valve. We aren't sure that that's totally failed because it's not getting warm, Bob, as we try. I wanted to check it, but I did order 2 more because one of the things that's different this year to last year is one of the valves that failed had no way to manually shut it off. So we had to shut the system down. We can't just let sewer run. This time, they both have manual shut-off, so we were able to shut it down and operate the other 5 of 7 zones. So right now we've got zones 1 and 2 down. I'm going to have them put the valve that we do have on zone 1. That's the larger zone.
Can we manually open those that we have shut down?
I tried to. It wouldn't go there.
You didn't have enough strength, huh?
Yeah. I use the cheater bar.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, and after we did all the tank pumping over the 4th of July, we had 1 septic tank pump. Actually, it's probably 2 or 3 now between when this report was written. We've got a couple more invoices that came in on that. So.
Yeah, they're gonna flow in.
And other than that, Jesse, I don't know if we have this on the agenda, but any update on the ER inspections at all?
It is on the agenda.
Okay, so we'll cover that under that portion of the report. So I think that's kind of it. Sometimes I have to remember between when I put this report together and what happened between then and now, the report to the meeting, but I think that covers most of it.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank